Okay, well, another walk and talk. It's a beautiful day out in San Jose. A little chilly though, so I underestimated my jacket choice. It
You
is
look
what it
pretty
is.
warm, honestly. Have you?
I, it's a little thin, but it's a shacket instead of a jacket. Anyway, so today I want to talk about with Charlie and something that I know that he's been working on testing for a client. Um, Kind of the difference between using something like actively AI. If you don't know about them, maybe just go do a little bit of research. But they believe in kind of a per account agent where they kind of take all this information that you have under the account and call scripts and everything like that, and then use that to prioritize accounts for sales and try and give them some of that like context for why they chose it, and then also then take some of that context and then use it for like messaging and things like that to like move, essentially what they say is move that account through its life cycle properly. And then comparing that that like trust me, hey, this account is the right fit, versus doing more of a signal based like actual play, almost like a campaign. So I want to hear what you think, and maybe describe a little bit like the difference between the two, and why you think it's worth testing.
Yeah, I think you summed it up perfectly. The first one, and it's not just actively, there's plenty of tools out there
Yeah.
that do this. They kind of do it a different way, but like we've been doing this for years, right? Even with tools like Sixth Sense or demand-based ABM tools, right? There would be some kind of, data-backed reason why the account is given to sales, right?
Yeah.
In the past, it was like a 6QA or MQA. Now it's like a lot better because they're coming with account research and context, and it's like the AI is explaining itself why the account is ready, and then it's also seeing it all the way through, finding the right contacts, putting them into sequences for sales, writing the messaging. So it's awesome, but there's that version, right, where there's kind of like a lot of reasons why the account is being given to sales. And there's another approach, which is, a lot of people are talking about, and it's like timeless but different now, which is the signal-based approach, which is
Yeah.
more a deterministic, I want to say campaign, but maybe not the best word, sales play campaign, maybe
Yeah.
evergreen campaign, where you're finding specific signals, like they're hiring for this role, there's something in a press release, they M&A, there's like, whatever the signal is.
Yeah.
And we're funneling that through our systems, we're getting the data on the account, we're automating getting the right contacts, we're putting them into place, specific to that signal, right?
Yeah.
So in the first thing, because there's so many reasons why the account is being surfaced to sales, and I don't want to say it's a black box because it does explain itself and give good context, but it's still somewhat a black box why that specific account got chosen over an account that didn't get chosen.
Right.
It's a bit harder to report on what is driving that sales cycle
Yeah.
and what is meaningful. Whereas the signal-based play, you can know, okay, well, we sent all of these accounts to sales because we saw this specific signal. They followed up with this specific message to that signal. Did it convert or not?
Yeah.
So it's like maximum control, maximum kind of like validation that you can get out of it
Yeah.
in the signal-based play, versus like trusting the model and minimal control, and that's kind of the benefit with it. So
Yeah.
that's the two differences I see.
Yeah. I think for me, the one where you like need all of the kind of the trust the model kind of scenario, I feel like that seems a bit more applicable for kind of accounts that are already engaging with you a bit. I feel like, I don't know how you feel, but for
I think it depends.
outbound purposes, I feel like the benefit of having a whole account kind of like context is like the rich data that you have, and really for cold account, the only thing you really probably, in my opinion, could get is maybe a signal.
Well,
So
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a bit of a blend there, right? Because
yeah,
there's like completely cold accounts where, yes, you're only really getting third-party signals, and you want your tool that's building the account-based context to be able to find those signals.
yeah,
But then in that model, you're still not particularly tying perfectly then maybe the message to the signal, because there might be other things that it's also trying to tie to, or you might not have like such a level of reporting because you're not just running that play for that period of time.
yeah,
And there's something in the middle where maybe they have had a call with you. Like for example, one of our clients that does use actively, some of the some of the accounts were being brought to the reps in 2026, early 2026, because in previous gong calls in the transcripts it found people saying, we're not ready yet, but we'll probably be ready next year.
yeah,
So you're right, like it's actually really good at when you've got some first party data
yeah.
to help you prioritize.
I think
So
of
maybe
it
that is
a
the
little
difference.
bit too, kind of like a prioritization from like a person level. Like the more kind of true like data of how they're engaging with you can almost make them, it makes it a bit easier to say, okay, now go after this account because they're kind of like sales ready. Whereas with like outbound, if they're not already engaging with you, you need some type of angle and hook, and that's why I like a signal for
Because
that.
it gives you the why now information.
Yeah, and it's just a bit more specific. Like
And then your
otherwise,
messaging can be tailored a lot better.
yeah. The thing that I worry about if you try and do that with accounts that just don't already have that like rich kind of history and other data, it's like I feel like still the messaging that I'd be
Oh,
trying
I
to
think we're
create.
hitting some
Oh, leaf blowers.
gardener leaf blowers, turn around, turn around.
I feel like it could still be like quite generic, or you just gotta pray that like, because with these tools, they're also gonna own some of that messaging. They're gonna say,
Exactly,
hey,
yeah.
I'm also gonna figure out what context to put into those emails, and I just maybe I'm too much of like a perfectionist and I want control, but I
Well,
still.
yeah. I was having a conversation with a client the last couple of weeks, and every time I finish the conversation, I'm like, am I just a control freak with this? Because I'm like, we need to be making sure that we're running these very deterministic signal plays, and we've got closed loop reporting on this to be able to see, and I want to be able to like make sure the messaging is in line to the signal. And the good thing about this client is that we're going to run both,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
we've got actively doing its thing.
Uh-huh.
You kind of got to trust it. We're going to report on, the accounts being sent to sales from actively. Do they convert higher than the accounts that are being worked that weren't sent from actively?
Yep.
And then we're also going to run our specific signal plays, where we're going to pick 3 to 5 signals, start harvesting them using Clay, get them into Salesforce, into a custom object, use them to then drive messaging for the outbound or warm inbound. Then we're going to see, are those converting, optimize the signals and try and make that that's like a self-improving system with the reporting that we're setting up, and then compare the two. And I think a lot of it comes down to how good are you at finding signals.
Uh-huh.
And then on the more kind of like, trust me, here's an account AI version, how good is that model, right?
Yep.
How good is it at sifting through context and history and data to find the patterns? How good is it in the self-improvement where it's then looking at the outcomes for the accounts that it's sending and then re-improving the model? And that comes down to the tech that you're investing in.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to be better. I think probably there's space for both. I actually quite like the idea of actively powering kind of sales,
Yeah.
and then the signals being handled by marketing.
Yep.
So yeah, and I think that could be the answer here. It might not be an either or, it could be a both, and maybe that's it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning to. I would be interested to see if like you also just run a test on just looking at Actively's efficiency across the like different stages of the funnel, like more like mid kind of already engaging to later. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
We'll report back.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what
We'll
happens.
see. Okay, cool. There we go.